Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Ohio Guys. My name is Christian Campo. I'm here in MA Midwest here in Chicago, Illinois. And today I'm joined with Caitlynn French. How you doing, Caitlyn?
I'm doing really good, thank you.
It's good to hear. How you like your first convention here in MA Midwest?
I'm enjoying it a lot. It's definitely a different environment. I've never been to Chicago before, so I'm getting to see a whole new crowd of anime fans that I don't normally see. I mean, up here you can kind of tell just by what costumes are picked, what animes are popular regionally, which is really kind of cool to see.
Happens. Places are different from each other.
Definitely.
Okay, so we have a few questions to ask you.
Okay, cool.
First of all, what's it like working in the anime industry today?
It's definitely an adventure because nowadays, from what I understand, we move incredibly quick compared to the old days. Compared to the stories that Jessica Cavello tells me, that we are moving at lightning quick pace. And so it's been kind of an adventure to pick up and see everything that you guys are doing and we're doing in the industry. We totally just got trolled, by the way. I hope you leave this in. Anyways, it's working at such a fast level. It's amazing that how quick you're supposed to learn and get into it. And I think we're at a time where anime as itself and the medium of it is evolving, how it's presented. I mean, you have simuldubs, you have simulcasting, you have all these apps now giving you access to anime. So it's a really exciting time to be involved in it, I think.
Yeah, I could see that. Apps. I didn't know that before.
I know, right? I feel so behind and like an old lady. I'm really, really bad with phone apps. So I'm like, there's an app for that? Oh. I had like an archaic phone for the longest time. So I'm still like catching up with the rest of society. Sorry.
Okay, then, speaking of anime, do you have any favorite animes that you worked on, maybe seen?
So my favorite animes that I've seen that I have not been in would definitely be Sailor Moon. I grew up being a huge fan of Sailor Moon. It was one of the first ones I'd ever seen. Ronin Warriors was also one of my big favorites. Then growing up we had Tenchi Muyo. And then I believe I mentioned in this panel that I have a love for Princess Mononoke as well.
Okay, so one of the newest things that just came out from Sentai, what was it like working on No Game, No Life?
I was so excited to get to work on this show. I had seen this show before as someone who loves video games of all sorts, MMOs, tabletop. I was really excited when I noticed what this show was about. So I watched it. And then I spent all this time telling myself, I know they have it. I'm probably not going to be in it because that's just the safe thing to do so you don't get disappointed. And then the next day, after I've spent all this time talking myself out, they cast me as Shiro. And I cried in a closet because I was really excited about it. And getting to work on it was such a fun experience because Shiro is she's a reserved, out there character. Her voice is very soft, mellow. She's a little out there mentally sometimes, but she's brilliant. But then she gets to break her mold by doing these big impressions, these actions, going into her shock, her phobia. It was really cool to get to do. I really loved working on it.
It's a good show, especially the box set. Looks beautiful.
Oh my gosh, it's not fair. You guys have your box sets and I want mine. I've been stalking my mailman for like the past week. Actually, mail woman, she's blonde, curly hair. I know, I've seen you. You come at noon. Please bring my box set.
Okay, moving on. What was it like working on Say I Love You?
Say I Love You was my first lead ever. I'd played Chiaki at that point, which was the first biggest role I'd ever had, but I'd never been the title character until Say I Love You. And that show for me I related to it on a really big personal level just due to the show's about high school and what an antisocial girl goes through high school when all this drama is brought up to her just because she met a boy who's interested in her because she's not interested in him. And it's a really sweet story between the two of them of bringing May out of her shell because I think we've all hit that point where we don't want friends because we're tired of hurting because of friends. You're tired of having your trust broken. And as someone who went through a lot of that in high school, I could really relate, and it was really rewarding to get to voice May and let out some of that feeling in the booth and get to understand your character in a way normally a lot of people don't get to. I mean, not every day am I going to sit there and say I empathize or totally understand what a space pirate's daughter is going through. So May was actually a level that I could understand and get to really in touch with, definitely.
Okay. So, if you could be any character you played in real life, who would you be? And you can mix and match.
Oh my goodness. So I want Shiro's gaming talent, definitely. Just because I also want however they survive and not have to do anything. That whole real life money and all that. Really wish we had that because I'd be on Final Fantasy XIV all the time. But I think I'd also mix her with Kureha Sakamachi because I want her pro wrestling talents. Because if those of you who don't know me, I'm a really huge wrestling fangirl, and Kureha is one of my favorite characters I've actually ever gotten to play because she is so high energy. She makes a lot of homages to wrestling that I love. I mean, I get to yell that I do a sharpshooter on someone. Who gets to do that? That's awesome. I get to take Brett the Hitman Hart's move and Natalia's move and put it on someone in an anime. I mean, it's not like I get to grab someone's actual leg and put them in a sharpshooter, but it's close enough. So I'm really excited. I would mix Shiro and Kureha, and I'd have the perfect medium, I think.
Well, wrestling.
Yes.
Okay. So is there anything that's coming out that you're in, anything you could talk about, or something you want to plug in at this time?
No Game No Life's coming out soon. There's a nice shiny box set. It's a collector's edition. It's very beautiful. It has playing cards, several double-sided posters, then little double-sided cards, CD that has the music on it that shows it's gorgeous. The box set's gorgeous. So definitely plugging that. There's a few things I wish I could talk about, but I can't right now. So other than that, I mean, you could follow me on Twitter and stuff. I tweet a lot. You can talk to me. I like talking. So there's my plug.
Okay. So I was like working on Bodacious Space Pirates.
Bodacious Space Pirates, which, by the way, besides the name, is not fan servicey at all, really, besides the spacesuits. But every time I say that title to someone, they give me a funny look, and I'm like, no, it's not what you think. Bodacious Space Pirates was a lot of fun. Chiaki was really my first prominent character I ever got to play, and I think you can tell in the beginning I was nervous and uncertain where to go with her, but as it went on, I fell into the role of Chiaki and really got to feel who she is, how frustrated she is with Marika half the time, because Marika has all this potential, and she's stumbling her way through it, and that makes Chiaki want to bash her head into a table several hours a day, and I think in the booth I got to feel a lot of what she was feeling sometimes and really learned how to empathize with her as I was going through the show. It was a lot of fun. I got to play a really interesting character for the first time, and I think she set the tone for a lot of other characters I got to do and I get to do on the way down the road.
All right. Another anime that I personally enjoyed, Little Busters.
Oh, Little Busters. Little Busters is the first show I broke down crying in the booth over. If anybody's ever watched it, there's episode 13, which leaves at a cliffhanger. And then there's episode 14, which Little Busters is a really cute show. And it has all these quirks and these moments. And then it has this moment when you're investigating each girl's storyline where it's going to promptly take that knife that it's been hiding behind a bag and shank you right in the heart and twist it around a few times. It decides it's going to do that to you with Midori and Mio's storyline. And from what I understand from Chris Ayres, both Shannon Emmerich and I came out of the booth crying that day just from episode 14 alone.
Wow.
Yeah. It was intense, and it was really intense because I'm voicing two characters who are having this super powerful scene together and coming together as one. It's really awesome.
I wish it was coming to us for that one.
Oh my goodness, it It was rough. I mean, it's always rough when you go through those emotional trips in anime because you come out of the booth exhausted, but it's really rewarding at the same time because that's what you want. You want to be exhausted. You want that catharsis after getting to pursue the role and put your heart out there on the line in the booth.
Wow. Other sad anime. Another sad anime I want to talk about is Sunday Without God. What's that looking at?
Oh, yeah, it's the second anime I broke down sobbing during. So this show was my second show I ever worked with Kyle Jones in. I had worked with him on Fate Collide, Prisma Ilia, Magical Girls in the Fate world. But that was really the first time I'd worked with Kyle, and I was like, hey, you just met me, you cast me in this role, this is really cool. We've only worked together once, and you're casting me in lead. Holy cow, thank you for trusting me with I. But I've never really told this story, but when I saw Sentai License, Sunday Without God, a year or so before, I wasn't anybody big. I'm still not anybody big. I mean, I'm tiny. I'm like, what, 5'2"? I wasn't anybody who was beyond doing Walla. The title, Sunday Without God, really caught my eye because, I don't know, it had this description pretty much that tells you what the world would be like if God abandoned the world, and this is how it is. And to me, it was super interesting. So I read up on it, and kind of like my cry in the closet Shiro story, I got cast in this role, never telling anybody I had interest in this show. And I was called, actually, I can tell you now, I was called a year ago on this day for the role, 2 days before my wedding, which was really awesome. I actually did not realize it had been a year at this point since I'd gotten called to do I. So it was really cool, the timing, what the show is, and I as a character, I developed such a bond with because she's one of the characters I've spent the longest with. I mean, when you go into the booth, you have different hours in the booth depending on how much your character talks. I don't play a lot of characters who talk. I doesn't shut up sometimes. So I got to spend a lot of time with her, and it was really an awesome experience to get to be her for so long and take that emotional journey with her. That's definitely one of the shows I also ended up sobbing during. I'm not going to tell you what scene because you all can guess, but I'll give you a hint. It's in episode 4, and if you didn't cry, you're probably heartless. Just saying.
Okay. Final question.
Yes.
Any Facebook, Twitter, or other social media for the fans to follow you?
Yes, you can follow me on Facebook at Caitlynn French Voice Actor. I have a personal page. I prefer not to add people I don't know on there, so please, you can message me on my voice actor page, and I will totally respond to you. I enjoy back and forth and talking to fans. You can also follow me on Twitter at Caitlynn French V. So you also, from there, can find me on Instagram at Caitlynn French V as well, or VA. You'll find it eventually that way, or you'll find it linked to my Twitter. And I have an Ask Me page, which is that page that you can anonymously ask people questions, and I'll probably answer. Unless you're being a jerk, then I'm not going to answer. But normally, I'll answer your questions. So those are the ways you can follow and interact with me, and I normally respond. Woo, we got a velociraptor around here. Thanks.
Okay. So thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Ohio Guys. I'm Christian, and she's Caitlyn, and we'll see you next time.